Dive into the greatest of NASCAR Radioactive with Tony Stewart and prepare for an unforgettable experience. Tony Stewart's name is linked with racing brilliance, from his renowned talents on the track to his amazing effect off it. Discover the fascinating legacy of this multi-talented driver, team owner, and businessman who continues to leave his impact on the sport. Join us on NASCAR Zone as we reveal the top 5 heart-pounding moments from Stewart's incredible career. But before we dive into that, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Tony Stewart, a NASCAR Hall of Fame driver and owner, is one of the 25 new drivers added to NASCAR's Greatest Drivers list for the sport's 75th anniversary. This was announced by the sport's governing body in April. Stewart, a 3-time NASCAR Cup Series winner, was shocked to hear the news during the pre-race broadcast for Food City Dirt Race at Bristol Motor Speedway. The 2020 Hall of Famer was a fan favorite when he drove the number 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, and later when he became a driver/owner for the number 14 Stewart-Haas racing car, which he owned with Gene Haas. From his first season in 1999, when he won 3 races and was named Rookie of the Year, to his last season in 2016, he was a winner. The driver from Indiana won 49 Cup Series races, including 2 Brickyard 400s at his home track, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Stewart's first Cup title came in 2002 when he was driving for JGR. He won another one right away in 2005. He added a third one for good measure in 2011 while driving for SHR. He won 5 of the 10 playoff races to win the title by a tiebreaker over Carl Edwards in one of the most exciting championship races in history. As an owner, Stewart-Haas Racing has won 69 races so far, including the 2017 Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick added the team's second title in 2014. Tony Stewart's racing experience put him in the Hall of Fame, and he had many great wins. Here are the 5 best ones. Stewart has left an amazing record as a driver, team owner, track director, promoter, and businessman. People said that he was as versatile in the cockpit as A.J. Foyt, who was his youth hero. Stewart can still be found running sprint cars, or the offices of Stewart-Haas Racing, the NASCAR team he owns with Gene Haas. There are many ways to describe the man everyone calls Smoke, but one word sums up his amazing career: racer. 5th is the Sonoma Raceway, 2016. First wins are always exciting, but last wins can also be very important. So was it Northern California's Sonoma Raceway, where Tony Stewart won the 2016 Toyota Save Mart 350 to end an 84-race loss run that went back to 2013. Stewart did it in a very exciting way. He passed his old friend Denny Hamlin on the last turn of the last lap while they were sharing paint. Hamlin had taken the lead half a lap earlier. Because Stewart had missed the first 8 races of the year after breaking his back in an off-road accident in January, the win meant even more. Stewart gave thanks to his Stewart-Haas Racing team after the race.
Excited for this team. I mean, my guys have been through this whole disastrous roller coaster for the last 3 or 4 years and never backed down. They've never quit on me. And there's days I've quit on myself, and they're the guys that send you text messages and call you when you get home, and they're like, "Hey, this isn't over." So I'm proud for them, and it meant more for me to get it for them than myself. But
4th up is Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Charlotte Motor Speedway, 2001. Tony Stewart did something that had never been done before or since. He finished on the lead lap of both the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. He came close to doing this 2 years earlier. At Indianapolis, Stewart finished 6th in the Indy 500, driving one of Chip Ganassi's open-wheel cars. Then he flew to Charlotte, got in a Pontiac owned by fellow Hall of Famer Joe Gibbs, 2020, and finished 3rd. Stewart's caps that do more than one job are on display in his Hall of Honor case at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Stewart said, "I finished 6th in the Indianapolis 500. I was in the lead when it started to rain, so I had a real chance to win that race, which is all you can ask for." Then he went to Charlotte and drove from the back of the pack to end up 3rd. As we have discussed the 2 moments and move on to the next ones, tell us know in the comments section below. And be sure to hit the bell button and subscribe to our channel to get the latest updates. The third one is the Charlotte Motor Speedway, 2009. People thought Tony Stewart was crazy when he told them in 2008 that he was going to own half of what was then called Haas Automation Racing. Stewart was driving for Joe Gibbs, which was a safe job, and Gene Haas had never won a race or had a driver finish in the top 20 in points. But when Stewart joined, the new Stewart Haas racing team was fast right away. Stewart didn't have to wait long to get to victory lane. He won the 2009 NASCAR All-Star Race, which was many SHR crew members' first NASCAR win ever. Stewart said,
Get these guys on the team that haven't been to victory lane yet, to get them there for the first time is just, that means absolutely, that means more than $1 million does to me. I mean, it's that gratifying to get this group of guys in victory lane, and there's guys on the team that are friends of mine, and there's guys on the team that I never met before, but they've been an awesome group of guys to work with up to this point, and that's the most gratifying part of it. It's about seeing those guys and seeing them celebrating and smiling in victory lane when I got there, and seeing how happy they were and the excitement on their faces at that. There's no check that you can write in any amount that's going to make up for that.
Second on the list is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 2005. If you're from Indiana and you like to race, your biggest dream is to win at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where the first Indianapolis 500 took place in 1911. Tony Stewart's dream, passion, and source of irritation was to win the Indianapolis 500. Stewart had already raced at the famous track 5 times in the Indy 500, 4 times in the International Race of Champions, IROC, and 6 times in the Brickyard 400, but he had never won a race there, even though he had done some good things. In 2005, Stewart passed Casey Kahn late in the Brickyard 400 race to win the race for the first time. Stewart remarked,
Yeah, this is definitely the highlight of my life. So I think the only thing that's next is actually getting married. That might actually have to top it someday. But as far as my racing career is concerned, I mean, this has definitely been the highlight for sure. And a day that I don't want to end, and I'll never forget it no matter what happens. Well, the hard part is I have a suite in turn 2, and my father, once we got in the top 5, he never left the front railing of it, and I could see him every lap when we came around. I mean, our suite is right at track level, so having your family there and your best friends there rooting you on, I mean, they never sat down the last 30 laps, and knowing that we actually had a shot, I mean, that was what we needed. I mean, typically we've led in the first half of the race, but we can't lead in the last half, and when we finally got the lead, we were 2/3 of the way through the race, so I thought this is actually a day that we might be able to get it done.
First on the list is the Homestead Miami Speedway, 2011, the last race of the 2011 season, which took place at Homestead Miami Speedway, was by far the most memorable experience of a long and successful career. In the previous 26 races in the regular season leading up to the 2011 playoffs, Stewart did not win a single one of them. Nevertheless, he was able to capture the lightning in a bottle and won 4 of the first 9 races in the playoffs. In order for Stewart to win the 2011 championship, he needed to win the final race at Homestead and defeat his rival Carl Edwards. However, Stewart's Chevrolet sustained damage when it collided with by another vehicle early on in the race. Because of this and a number of poor pit stops, Stewart finished each of the 3 races in the last position in the field. Stewart did not let this deter him, as seen by the fact that he was able to pass 118 vehicles en route to his record-setting 5th playoff triumph and 3rd championship. Stewart made the following statement.
Man, I feel like I passed half the state of Florida. 118 cars is a lot of cars to pass in one race. Man, I've been racing 31 years. I can't even remember races, some of the races I've won, but I would have to say that under the circumstances, I got to believe this is definitely one of the greatest races of my life.
People who have been involved with NASCAR for a long time often talk about how much they miss the good old days. Now, this could be due to a few or several things. But at this point in the sport's history, people like Tony Stewart aren't the same as they were back in the day. So these were the best of Tony Stewart's NASCAR Radioactive. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos on NASCAR updates. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.